What's up? How's it going? My name is Blake. This is Dogwise Show. I'm a big dog handler here at Oakland Animal Services in California, and I get to hang out with some of the coolest dogs of our community on a weekly basis. So just a heads up, this is a little bit of a sequence video because it's still about a misunderstood topic, but I think this topic deserves its own space, and I didn't want to, just to rush it in the last video. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen it, it's right here. Alright, today I want to talk about a very, very special group of canines. A group that is misunderstood, to say the least. Let's talk about it. And the group of canines I'm referring to is, the one and only pit bulls. Those dogs that people whisper about at the park or scroll past on adoption pages. But here's something most people don't know. These guys used to be America's favorite family dog. In the 1900s, these guys were called nanny dogs because of how loyal and gentle they were with kids. So what happened? How did we go from nanny dogs to super dangerous dogs? Stay away from it in just a few decades. Here's a little bit of context. In the 70s, America's relationship with dogs started to change. Crime was rising, people wanted protection, and then suddenly everyone wanted a tough-looking guard dog. Breeds that looked strong and intimidating like pit bulls got caught in that trend. By the 80s, pit bulls had become a cultural symbol. They were portrayed in the media like inner-city dogs, often linked with Latino and Black communities. So the news outlets started running scary headlines about pit bull attacks. But those headlines never really talked about the neglect and the human factor behind those events. The image is stuck, and the dogs paid the price. Then came the breed bans, insurance restrictions, and a full-blown panic. And pit bulls were one of the most common dogs in the US at the time. And when you got millions of these guys here, of course, you're gonna see their names more often in the bite reports. That's not proof of aggression. That's just math. Okay, so think of it this way. If the vast majority of dogs are pit-type mixes, they will naturally appear in the big chunk of the data. That's a probability issue, it's not a personality issue. And studies back this up. Researchers show that breed isn't a reliable predictor of aggression. So the scary pit bull image didn't come from the dogs, it came from us. From fear, from fashion, from irresponsible breeding, from society's racism regarding who owned them, and from how the media framed the whole story. Okay, so we saw how the bad reputation started, so now we are going to see what the facts say about it. Let's start with something solid, temperament tests. The American Temperament Test Society has tested over 900 breeds and mixes, and pit bull type dogs consistently pass at rates around 85 to 90%, which is just as good or even better than golden retrievers and border collies. In other words, statistically, your odds of meeting a chill pit bull or a pit mix type are the same as meeting a chill golden retriever. And what's the difference? The difference is one of them has bad PR. Now, scientists have looked at aggression too, and breed just isn't a reliable predictor. I want to show you one thing. really, really cute about this dog. Look how gentle he is when he takes the treat. He's a gentleman. Gentleman indeed. Gentleman certified. Here, pup.
Multiple studies, including large-scale behavioral surveys, found that a dog's behavior is shaped way more by the environment, by the training, by the human handling than what's written on its kennel card.
So, one paper from American Veterinary Medical Association actually says any breed can bite under the wrong circumstances. It's not about genetics, it's about context. At shelters, dogs are identified by their looks, not genetics. And sometimes they have a small and even inexistent PD genes.
If you think about it, we've built an entire stereotype around dogs that might not even be the breed we think they are. So next time you read a headline that says, "Pit bull attack," there is a good chance he wasn't even a pit bull at all.
So if pit bulls are born aggressive, where do the bites come from? Easy. Neglect, isolation, and lack of training. So when dogs are left alone in the backyards, chained up, and never socialized, they just miss out on basic experiences that actually teach them how to handle the world. That teach them how to be a dog. A good dog. So no playtime, no walks, no people. That combination makes the dog anxious, frustrated, and potentially reactive. It's not a pit bull problem, it's a human problem.
Most serious bites come from dogs that were under-socialized or kept outside away from human contacts. That's obviously not about the breed, that's about management and negligence. When we fail to set the dogs up for success, we are the ones creating the risk.
So here's the thing. Here's the good news. The flip side is also true. So when we invest in education, positive training, and proper exercise, mental stimulation for these animals, we ended up preventing the very behavior we are afraid of. Right. Let's go. So if we teach people, if we help them to understand why dogs behave the way they do, we won't just be keeping the dogs safe. You won't just be saving the dogs. We'll also be keeping the community safer as well. Here you go, bud.
This is what prevention looks like. Training, connection, and trust, not fear and isolation.
Remember, the next time you hear or you read a story about pit bull attack, the story is probably about a dog that didn't have a chance to learn, to play, to just be a dog, So keep that in mind. So we've talked about the history, the science, and the real problems behind the issue. But nothing shows the truth better than a good story. As I've mentioned on my previous video, for every dog stereotype, there is a story behind proving the opposite.
Okay. I want you to meet someone that knows these dogs better than anyone. Now you're going to hear from Claudia, who is a staff member at Oakland Animal Services. Claudia didn't just help pit bulls at work. She adopted one herself.
Hi, Blake. Let's talk about pit bulls. Let's begin with how I entered the shelter space. I began as a volunteer, and most recently, I became part of the adoptions team as a staff member. And in conversations with people, I have also learned so much about these stereotypes when it comes to pit bulls and all of their subcategory breeds. For the most part, when it comes to talking to adopters, the one thing that comes up the most is, are these dogs aggressive? I am scared of these dogs. These dogs are not allowed in my house, in my apartment building. I adopted this pit bull and my landlord told me that I need to give it back because these dogs are dangerous. They're not allowed in our home space. I will be the first one to admit that a lot of these stereotypes are true, with the caveat that these stereotypes are true for all breeds across the board, at least all of the breeds that we see a lot in our area. Of course, the numbers would probably reflect that pit bulls are involved in more incidents, and I think that's because we just simply have more pit bulls than many other breeds. So I would love to talk about my experience as an adopter, what that has meant for me. In our case, my dog has been so grateful and just so pleased about existing in this home space. When I came across her, I was still a volunteer. I learned about her that she had been dumped outside of the shelter with her litter mate, and I met her, then proceeded to foster her, and then the same day that I brought her home as my foster, I decided that I wanted to keep her forever. She is now a spoiled princess, and with that has come some lack of boundaries on my part, where I have began to sort of baby this little baby. And here's the proof. Okay, I'm gonna show you her lineup of stuffed animals. And this is her on my couch. Okay, and she like sleeps in my bed. All of this to say is she's a very spoiled princess. She has a really high prey drive. Luckily, this prey drive has never translated into small dogs. It's mostly been about, or it's always exclusively been about small animals such as rabbits, cats, squirrels. So I, as an owner, have the responsibility of safely socializing her and having her about in the world. So for us, this means that she's always walking on a short leash. We're always taking the stairs as opposed to the elevator. We are keeping a safe distance from every other dog on leash in our neighborhood. She is never ever to be off leash in our neighborhood or inside of the building. And so these are some of the things that I like to do in order to keep her and everybody around us safe. Lastly, I would encourage everyone to visit their local animal shelter, donate, volunteer, foster, and give a dog a chance. These animals need us just as much as we need them. They're vulnerable and they are very much in need of our empathy, our love, and our support. Thank you.
So, what's the takeaway? Pit bulls are not villains, my friend. They are just dogs. Dogs who happen to get caught in the crossfire of headlines and misinformation. Because at the end of the day, they are individuals. Just like us, they have their own personalities. And what they have in common, it is not aggression. For sure, it is resilience. And once we give them the time, the training, the love, and the patience that they so badly need, they give it back to us 100 times over. So, if we want fewer dogs in the shelter and safer communities, it starts with education and compassion for the dogs and also for the people who love them.
And if you're thinking about adopting, fostering, volunteering, or just spreading the word, just have one thing to tell you: do it. You never know whose life you're gonna help to rewrite. Here at Oakland Animal Services, we see happening all the time. Second chances work. And none of these would be possible if it wasn't for the people working behind the scenes, taking care of these dogs. They make these fantastic stories come to life. Okay, so thanks for watching. Thanks for keeping your hearts open. See you next time. And remember, a gray dog might just be no hunting, dude. a great dog might just be waiting for you at your local shelter. So give it a chance, dude. Just give it a chance.
By the way, the links for all the studies mentioned in this video are in the description. In case you'd like to read them yourself, that would be great. Do that. And also, last thing, I promise, all the dogs featured in this video are or were available for adoption, so go ahead, check the shelter's website for more info.
If she eats this treat, you're gonna subscribe. Yes. So this video isn't about just throwing the safety out of the window, okay? I just want you to understand the bigger picture. Remember, any dog can bite, so just be respectful. Read their body language. Oh, now you want it, huh? Read their body language, approach them slowly, and if you're respectful, chances are they will also be respectful to you. And you know what else you can do? You can subscribe to the channel.